Hey everyone, the numbers are in for Long Beach Resort in Panama City Beach for February 2022. I'm Craig Duran with the Duran Group over at Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices. Want to point out a couple things to you guys about the market in general. The condo sales market is still very intense. I want to go through some specific sales in Long Beach for you this month, and then also talk to you about a couple of pricing ideas and strategies that might help you or any of your friends, family, whether they're in this market or anywhere else. It'll apply anywhere. First of all, I'm going to show you a couple slides in a second, but the market is still extremely intense. It's very difficult for buyers. Anybody who's thinking about trying to buy something, it's hard to find something good. And when you do, more often than not, a buyer is going to be in some kind of multiple offer situation. There are very few things to purchase right now. I'm going to show you in just a minute how dramatic that is. I've been doing this for 19 years, and it's as extreme as I've ever seen it. Also, because of that, I think a lot of players in the game, agents, sellers, are not maximizing on potential price that they can actually get. And I'm going to show you some examples of that. So let's take a look. First off, if you think about this from a supply standpoint, if a buyer wants to go out and buy a condo, and plenty of them do right now, look at what's happening. Just look at this first column. We're down anywhere from 49 to 56% last month of available condos for sale. That's compared to February of last year. February of last year, you may remember, was already a tight inventory, low supply type market. We have half the number of condos now than we did back then. It's just even more difficult for buyers. And again, this is what's part of what's driving pricing up and so rapidly. Look at this for just a second. I won't go through my whole favorite chart from before, but look at one number, a different number this time. As of today, there's 70 units for sale across the entire beach. I'm looking at just the newer buildings, so like 2,000 plus. There's 70 units for sale, but 52 units of those are at Shores of Panama right next door. I just want to show you this. Here's that number, 52 units for sale at Shores of Panama. That doesn't even count the ones that are under contract. In fact, we're looking at active. So think about that for a minute. If someone wants to buy something and they don't want to be in Shores of Panama for whatever's going on over there, there's 18 choices across the entire beach in the newer buildings for efficiency, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, few 4 bedrooms that we have, period. So, I mean, I can't stress enough how intense that is. I mean, for me, normally, if someone wants to go and look at something to possibly buy, I could always show them 4 or 5 or 6 things at least. We're having a hard time finding one thing to buy. That's what you're seeing from the intensity or what's driving some of this action on real estate, and why I'm going to show you some of these pricing things in just a minute. And also remember, the buyer this time of year, the serious buyer, they're a little more emotional and driven this time of year in any market. Beach season's coming up. It's only a couple months away. It's already getting gorgeous out. A buyer who really has decided they want to buy something can get on or wants something to use right away. They want something to rent right away. And so they're even more motivated. Now all of a sudden you throw in low supply, and you throw in that this is probably going to be one of the busier years in recent memory for travel because of the pandemic opening things up, or more people traveling this summer. There's all kinds of motivation to buy beach real estate, and there are very few choices. So it's driving prices. So I'm going to show you some prices in Long Beach next, and then I want to show you a pricing strategy. It's really important. One of the efficiencies just hit the market at $349,000. That's pretty amazing to me, when not so long ago we were at 2 bedrooms at $349,000. There's 1 bedroom, 1102 is closed at $420,000. We're working on 1202, which the asking price is $435,000. I can't share the final contract with you, but it's a very strong offer, and that one's closing just in the next few days. A 2 bedroom is closed at $688,000. Another 2 bedroom is closed at $705,600. This is all just February numbers. There's a 3 bedroom on the market at $714,900. Another 2 bedroom is closed at there's another 2 bedroom asking $749,900 under contract. There's one asking $760,000 that's under contract. A couple of things important to note about that jump, and we're going to revisit this in a second. Look at that spread. 688,000 is closed in February. Asking 760, and it's under contract, meaning there's an agreement, there's a sale pending between buyer and seller. 901 has been sitting there for a little bit. There is an agreement in place asking $1,035,000. There's another unit that's asking 1.2 million, very recent to the market, that does not have a contract as of yet. A couple of things going on pricing. So let's start on the higher end of things. One of the things that's happening across the entire beach right now, really just in the last 3, 4, 5 weeks, is I feel like the $1 million price is being tested. Just like when stock prices are moving up or pricing on anything is moving up. Anytime you come across certain price, there's always price resistance at certain levels. You hear about resistance all the time. One of the things that's happened here recently is all of a sudden in the last 4 to 6 weeks or so, we haven't really talked about $1 million condos very much. And I can think of, I just closed one for $1,020,000 this week at Hidden Dunes. We have 2 things now out there and being talked about at Long Beach over $1 million. We have one at Calypso that's under contract for well over $1 million. We have another one we're asking 1.2 for that's getting a lot of activity. We have one at Aqua that's had a real strong asking price, or the asking 1,249, that 115 has been put out there. All of a sudden, very recently, you've seen too, if you look at Calypso, there's another 1 or 2 units that are asking $1 million plus. Same at Aqua. Hidden Dunes, there will be one pretty soon. So we're headed in that direction. And so for people who are in that price range, and we're going to talk about kind of pricing strategies more in a minute, those things are much more possible than they were even 6, 8 weeks ago. More of those conversations are having. This is one thing I want to stress and just explain to you about how real estate agents think on all of this stuff. We're taught in our very few hours of real estate school how to price property. It's very, very, very elementary. We're taught to go back 6 months because we need to be in a recent market, and to find comparable properties, try to get an average of that and see how those compare, and use that to guide us on where to price something for sale. A couple things about that. If we're going back 6 months in the kind of market that we have right now, as active as this market is, you're talking about ancient history. Look at what's just happening in February, just in Long Beach. You're talking about $90,000 plus of a jump on the same floor plan. I know furnishings and floor height and all those things play into it, but it's intense right now. So you wouldn't go back very far. But even if you do, going back 60 days and comparing some things, traditionally, an agent isn't given any guidance in how high above that to price something. And so look at this example in Calypso. I went back, I was just asked to price a 1-bedroom, 2-bath over there. 450, 455, 460, 460 were the very recent sales. 60 days, same floor plan. I think an inexperienced agent or seller might go, well, 460 is the top of the market. If I could get 469 or 475 or 479, I could be doing pretty well. 15,000 more, 20,000 more. That all sounds good. It's only a few, 2-3 percentage points, but there isn't really any analytics behind that. It's just I'm getting more than the last guy. We priced it at 525 and got a contract before it even hit the market, and the seller was comfortable. It was such a strong offer that they took the 525 and didn't even want to test the market. So what is that? For $65,000. 8-ish% over the top of the market, the recent market that we're in. I don't think a lot of people are talking about this. I don't see it happening enough. I think there are a few aggressive sellers and agents out there, but not very many. To accomplish that, and we're doing another one. We got another one in Calypso right now at 539. That the recent sale is 500. We have one in a building. 1.3 million, the recent sales 850. Over a million, 1,020,000, the recent sale was 900. I'm doing this over and over again, and here's my theory and my ideas on how to execute this. We already know crazy extreme demand, very low supply. If you have something to offer, especially if you have something very nice, you can, if the marketing is done correctly, you can reach tens of thousands of people with this message. Marketing done right is important. That is not a cell phone picture and posting in a Facebook group. Although posting in a Facebook group is part of our marketing strategy, it's only one part of it. Think about the number of people in your owner group. In a condo, that might be 50, 60, 100 people or 200 people. Some of these bigger buy and sell groups are 1,000 people, 1,500 people. We can reach tens of thousands of people now with good digital marketing. And good digital marketing is a few steps. Professional photographers. And not just the average professional. Like any business, there are good professional photographers and they're really excellent ones. Get the excellent professional photographer. Shoot an excellent video, not only explaining the unit, but everything around the unit, everything about the amenities, everything about Panama City Beach. Then write some excellent marketing copy. But once you have that, that's just the beginning also. That needs to be distributed. And we're reaching, it's amazing to see when we start dealing with selling to people from Connecticut and Iowa and Pennsylvania and Seattle. These are places that I haven't had conversations with this parts of the country until very recently. Once you have all of that and you can distribute all of that, now you can start to understand why you're going to find someone that really wants something and is starting to value, I think, basically what's some untapped value in our market this time of year, going into beach season when people are emotional about the purchase. I expect another 30, 60 days-ish of the intensity. This market from the end of January has been as intense as I've ever seen it in 19 years. It was very busy last year. Since the second week of January to now is as intense as I've seen it. I still kind of think that will be there through middle of May. March might be a touch softer because some people will still be on family spring break trips and do a little less business. Some people still think we're very much a spring break destination and might stay away because of that. But April, if things continue and nothing else changes much economically, nationally in the world, or otherwise in the world, April and May could still have this fever, but it starts to die down as we get a little closer to beach season for a few reasons. Units are hard to show when they're rented, and the heaviest of the rental season, it's hard for us to do our job to show people something that they may want to buy. Add to that there's already very few things to even find to look at anyway. And so even people fully intending to buy, who plan their beach vacation to come down here and get into buying something while they're here, just find it very difficult to do that. So we have a little less sales volume those months. We still write some contracts, not as many. It gives the inventory a little chance to come back if people thinking about putting units up for sale. But also what tends to happen is most people don't want to put their unit up for sale in June because they have a heavy rental schedule, if it's a rental. For people who have non-rental units, this could be a very excellent time to be on the market. Come August, September, the buyers are back that wanted to buy for those couple months. There's kind of some pent-up demand. But they're not quite as motivated because we're now on the end of beach season, and so they can be a little more patient, almost targeting the next beach season for a purchase. So we have a good 45, 60-day run, I think, of this, if I had to guess. I think it'll be interesting to see what the world looks like economically and otherwise in September, October. If we have a little bit less sales through the summer, do those buyers come back as aggressive as they are in September, October, and keep things moving along? That's what's happened for 2 years in a row now. Is this finally the year where people cash out, get out of the market, and then something happens economically to turn things the other way? We're waiting to see if that could happen. So that's a little update on the market. I know, sorry, I got a little deeper into that than I wanted to. It's 15 minutes of stuff, but hopefully that helps you with what's going on at Long Beach. Hopefully that gives you some ideas. To share those ideas with anybody who is thinking about selling, whether it's here at the beach or not. Those same ideas apply in a lot of parts of the country. Just make sure whoever it is you're talking to is working with an agent that understands not only the marketing side and being able to really aggressively push prices, but they have to be able to do the paperwork. It's almost easy right now to get a buyer to agree to offer something, but can that buyer commit to paperwork that will promise that closing? So at any rate, the last bit, where the market is so fast and so intense and so quick, the pace is so heavy right now that I don't want to send out tons of email on this stuff. I like to send out one email once a month with this video. Once a week, we have a very general email out just to kind of keep you updated. And that's plenty of email for me. I don't want to pound people with email. So with the pace of things, we're much more active on social media than I ever have been. I'm not naturally a Facebook or Instagram guy, but we are being much more active in those places, on our posts, in our stories, to share information with you quickly as it comes, especially new listings coming to the market, listings that haven't hit the market yet, important things we see shifting, because this market could shift very quickly if it does. Also being much more active on YouTube. These videos will live on YouTube. We'll keep the most current one out there for a month at a time. We're also putting our new tours there, so you'll see listings there first. I have a major investment in video with my video guy, and so we're continuing to record property walkthroughs. Trying to get at least one of those out per week, if not more. Got one scheduled for Saturday, may have another one scheduled for Monday. So in the next 7 to 10 days, we should have some more of those coming out. If you have any questions on real estate, feel free to reach out. Hope you guys found this helpful. We'll be in touch next month.